Hello friends, welcome to Core Semantic and welcome to the video tutorial of jQuery data tables with ASP.NET MVC. In this video, we are going to focus on how to render a data in different ways. Okay, so many times there is a necessity to display a data in a different form rather than a plain text. So as you can see here we displayed serial number, course and duration as a plain text. Okay, but suppose sometimes I want to display a data in a different form. Means as you can see here image is displayed. Okay, in this column image is displayed, and even you can see here that here I display my data in a different format, and as well as you can observe that there is some different formatting according to the value. Means here we can see the green labels, okay, whereas here we can see the orange color labels. So depending on the data we can format our data also. So that part we are going to cover here today. Okay, so let us start. So columns.render option is used to render a data in a different format. So basically to this render option you have to assign a function. Okay, and that function actually going to transform your data. Okay, so you can transform it in the image tag, you can apply the conditional formatting, you can show it as a checkbox, anything the way you want to render. And this function accepts the three parameters. Now let us see what are the three parameters. The first parameter represents the data, okay, the actual data that we want to display. So by comparing this data you can render that data as per your wish. Okay, now the second parameter represents data type. Now remember one thing, this data type do not represents a standard data type. Okay, generally when we say data type we think that it can be an integer, it can be a float, or it can be a string, but basically in case of jQuery data tables this data type represents a different thing. Now, the third argument represents a full data object, or you can say an array for the row. Okay, see, this data represents a single value of that row, whereas the last argument represents an entire row. Many times we need this entire row also. Okay, so again, with the help of example, I am going to explain this. So let us switch to Visual Studio and let us understand this data rendering practically. So as you can see here, I'm using the same MVC application that we have created while studying the jQuery data table, that is Learn jQuery data table. Okay, so I'm using entity framework here and basically database first approach. If you're not aware of this part, there is a separate tutorial for entity framework. Okay, and even you can watch the previous video also. So there also I explain how we can include this database first approach of entity framework in our solution. Now, if you remember, in the beginning of this video, I show you a sample jQuery data table where we included the image of a course, and as well as we are displaying the status of that course. Okay, so I'll show you it again. See, here we are including the image also, and this is a kind of status, means whether this course is conducted now or not. So basically active status means this course is conducted by that particular institute, and inactive means this course is not conducted by that particular institution. Okay, so for this we need to add few fields in the database. Okay, so let us switch to database first. I have already added these columns. Let me show you. So as you can see here, I added these two columns, that is image and status. And for image, I'm just going to keep a name of an image. Okay, I'm not storing it in a binary form. I'm just storing the name of image, and I have this status value also. So again, you can see here I have already added some data also. Okay, that is for this particular record for C programming. I specify the image c.jpg, for this cpp.jpg, For data structure, it is d.png and so on. And for status, I have defined just one single character field. That is for active, I'm storing A, and for inactive, I'm storing I. But while displaying it on the screen, I want to display it in a green color if it is active, and if it is inactive, I'm going to show it in a orange color. Okay, and again with a full name, not just as a and I. I'm showing it as a active and inactive. Okay, so basically our data stored in the database is in a different format, and we want to show it in a different form. So that's why data rendering is important. Okay, I hope you got this. And again, you can keep the what I'll say, you can keep the size of this field as a one also, because we are just storing the one character. So that will be optimum utilization of your database. Okay, so let us switch to Visual Studio again. So here I have already added image folder, and I have added that images also that I have mentioned in the database. Basically, this is the image, and only the name of this file is stored in the DB. Now, this EDMX file, okay, it is having this course table, but it is not in sync with DB, because in our database we added two extra columns, right? That is image and status. So we have to make it in sync with DB. So for that, what we have to do, just right click over here and say update model from database. So whenever you do any changes, and if you add any stored procedure or view or any extra table, in that case this particular node get expanded, and you can select it here. But since we didn't added any extra table or stored procedure or views, so this will never expand, but it will update the columns in the table. Okay, so I hope you understand this. Okay, so image and status part get updated, and now it is in sync with the DB. Even you can check these files also. Okay, basically I have to save this first, then only it get reflected in the class file. So it may take some time. Now it is saved, so you can check that it is reflected or not. So this is our course file. Okay, so it get reflected, and these two properties get added. So remember one thing, whenever you update this ADMX file, don't forget to save it. Until you save it, these changes will never reflect in your class file. Okay, entity class file basically. Okay, so we're done with this coding related part, database related part. Now basically we have to focus on a view only. Okay, because coding is also, we have that coding available, we do not have to do anything here. We have to play with data rendering only. So data rendering will appear in the view part. Okay, so I hope you remember this. Means we are in last few videos, or from the beginning we are studying this, that we are calling this data table function, then we are setting various options, and now we are going to focus on data rendering part. So as you know, we have added two more extra column for image and another one for status. So let me add it here first. So you can name it anything. I'm just naming it as image, and the another one is status. Okay. Now similarly, here I have to add two more column definitions for that two columns. So let me copy this, and then we will adjust the width. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So let us say each and every column is now of 20%. So we have totally 5 columns. So 20 into 5 will be 100%. Okay. Here you have to specify this also. So this is my third column and this is my fourth column. Now we don't want these two columns to be orderable, so I'll set it to false. Okay, there is no meaning to set it to orderable, so that's why I'm setting to false. Now we have to specify this data, means where our data is actually coming. In previous video we already studied this part. So data is nothing but our image column, which is nothing but it should match with this, right? It should match with this. Okay, then what name we want to give it here? So name can be anything. Again, it should be in a double quote and say name is C image. Similarly, we will mention the another column also. Here it is status and name will be say C status. Okay, so we're done with this part. Now what happened when you run this code? Okay, so let us run it and observe it first, and then we will transform it to another form. Okay, so as you can see here, see, for image it is just displaying the image name, and even status is displayed like this. IIAA means whatever values are there in our database or in our collection or in our data source generally. So it get appeared as it is. But we don't want to show these values as it is. We want to render it in a different way. Okay. So that's why we are going to write a function for it, and we are going to assign that function to render option. Okay. So let us switch to Visual Studio. Now, here for this particular column, I want to render my data differently. Okay, so here I'll say comma, and on the next line, I'll define this. So my option is render. To this render option, we have to assign a function. So as I told, this function takes 3 parameters. You can give any name, but basically the first parameter represents data. Second parameter represents the type, actually data type, which is different from our normal data type. And third parameter represents an entire row. Okay. So let me zoom in it. Now it will be visible to you. Okay. So here we want to display this data as an image. Basically, from this function you have to return the value. Remember this thing. And this will be in the form of string. So we have to write an image tag here. Image. Then say we will specify the width. Say width is something 40%. Okay. Or you can give a fixed height also. Fixed width or fixed height. Then we have to specify the source of the image. Okay. That is SRC. So to this source, we have to assign a path. So we can specify the path by observing the folder structure in a Solution Explorer. So as you can see here, the image folder is immediately after our root directly. So what we have to do, just place a backward slash, specify the folder name, that is image, and then after we have to specify the file name, and we can get file name from this data argument, okay, which actually holds the data which is collected from the database. So just put a plus sign here, okay, because we are concatenating it. So data, let me enclose it with single quote. So this is one string, then data argument, then plus sign, then again enclosed it in a single quote. So here the starting double quote of SRC get closed here, and then after closing image tag. That's it. Just put a semicolon. So we're done with this part. So let us test it. So I'm just going here. So this is our initial output. I'll just refresh it. Okay. So we can see the image here. But as you can see, few records do not have any image. Okay. Few records do not have any image, means their values are null, but still it is showing the image tag. So in that case, what we can do, if the image is present, then only we are going to render it as an image tag. Otherwise, we will display a not applicable text. Okay. So let us switch to Visual Studio again. So whenever there is no data, at that time, the value of this data argument is null. So what we will do, we will put a condition here. Since this is a JavaScript part, you can easily put a condition. So if it is equal to null, we want to display a plain text. So I'll say return not applicable, either in single quote or double quote. Otherwise, if there is any value, okay, in that case, we will display an image tag. Okay, so I hope you understand this. Now let us observe the output. Again, I'll save it and then we will test it. Okay, now it looks good, right? Wherever there is image, it is showing image tag, and otherwise it is showing a not applicable text. Similarly, you can check it on the next page also. Okay, now we want to deal with this status column value, that is I and E. So instead of showing I and A data directly, we will display it as a full text, that is active or inactive. Okay, and as well as we will apply some formatting also, as I show you initially. So for active we are going to display a green color, and for inactive we are going to display a orange color. Okay, so here we have to do, or we have to write a render, we have to define a function for the render attribute. So just put a comma, I'll hit a enter key, and then here specify the render attribute, then function, okay, then data. Now since we are not using this rest of the two arguments, it is not mandatory to specify it. Okay, so you can keep it. So that is the actually facility of JavaScript. Now here I have to check a value of data, because it can be I or it can be E. So first of all, I'll check if data is equal to E. In that case, I want to show active but along with some formatting. So here I am going to use a label tag of HTML. In label I am going to render this value. To this label I am just going to apply one class, and here I am using the class of Bootstrap. So the class is label itself. Sorry, it is label, L-A-B-E-L. Then label dash, label dash sm, and one more class is there, label dash success. Okay, and after completing this class I want to display a value active, and then closing label, means whenever the value of data is A, I want to render this. Okay, instead of active I am just going to apply the formatting also, a CSS class also. That's why I enclose it in a label tag, because we can apply CSS to HTML element only, right? In the else part, means either it can be A or it can be what, I. So in the else part, what will I say? Inactive. Okay, but this time I want to apply different formatting, so I will say warning. So due to this warning class, we are able to get a orange color. Basically, these classes are belongs to Bootstrap, and MVC has built-in support for Bootstrap. If you are trying to implement it in some other technology, make sure that you have included the Bootstrap CSS file. Okay, then only these classes will be applicable, or you can apply your own CSS also, no matter. So let us refresh it. See, here our first two column have I value, so it is showing inactive in a orange color, and for rest of the three we have a value, we are showing active along with a green color. So basically we are applied CSS classes. You can apply formatting as per your requirement. This is just an example or just to give you an idea that how you can apply the formatting. Okay. In upcoming video, we are going to study few more things related to rendering. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching.